The dampening field signal is coming from this direction, but it looks like there's a branching point.
I see it. They're disseminating the dampening signal to hundreds of frames. This is a code fix.
I think we can get through here now. The signal's getting stronger, and it looks like I was wrong before. The dampening broadcast isn't emitting from one point, it's 3. Wait, there's something else. There's an old colonial research terminal still running from when the Ionians landed here. I didn't notice it until we were close, but it looks like the Zets are trying to access it.
Interesting. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Bring down the dampening broadcast, and in the chaos, we'll crush their incursion into the old colony systems.
Your plan is cracked knuckles. I like it. We're taking the direct route. Without you, Guardian, my steps would be mouse squeaks in the floorboard. I've always been more gauntlets and thunder.
We don't have time to be anything but gate crashers. It's the Guardian's forte anyway. If you're looking for quiet, Orin, come back to the city with us when this is over. Rebuild your life in your own hands.
The city sounds like bitter medicine. We'll see. Is buzzing.
That is not a tower. The broadcasts are coming from those giant minotaurs. Stay low, Guardian. another concentration of dark matter. Might help keep us out of harm's way. Projectors nearby, but it's protected by a security lens. One step at a time, Guardian. This should help us get to the security lens.
Check their shields. The interference is dying down.
Let the fine lance splinter, Guardian! Charge!
Contact Unite. Punch through that Vex interference.
Timely message. A globe spins below you, the planets above. An event into the encoded horizon. see it. You. The message as a weapon. The weapon is the message. Fate forged. 9 hammer strikes ring. Scattered sparks. Cupped in hands. A weapon, quenched in slick oil. I see the outline of sharp Leidenfrost. All that surrounds it is fluid and easily cut away. No volition in given roles. Smoke. It's gone. Damn. Damn! I could almost see it!
You did great, Orin. Guardian. Seems like the 9 have their eyes on you, too.
Establishing uplink. Wait. These are detailed records of the collapse.
They catalogue the 9's presence as much as the collapse. The Vex study seeds planted in the past to understand how the 9 wove plots around the paracausal.
This data is a playbook for emulating the 9. Orin, do they know we would stop the Vex here?
Of course. They know that we'd need to move the Vex aside to reach the singularity. 3. Agency is a quantum indeterminate. Known hope. I remember they spoke like that.
I'm glad your head's clearing up. I quantum indeterminate that soon you'll be able to make more sense of this than I can.
Only the quarantine is between us and our answers. I can hear victory screaming like fire.
Lodi. The Guardian found an archive of analytical data the Ionians had recorded during the collapse. I think you deserve to see it.
Really? Miss Ray, that's incredible. Anything, and I mean anything that fills in the gaps between then and now would be mighty appreciated.
I think we're dealing with the inner orbits. Dangling an answer from a string is as clear as they get. Sun through Mars. The 9 are tethered by sentience and Sol's celestial bodies. They have a lot of time to bicker. The inner want to talk, the outer less so. It's an impasse.
So we're just swept up in the tides of a grand cosmic plan?
No. Placed. With intention. I, to mentor the new emissary. Drift has been used for years. The Guardian, something yet to be. And you, Ikora, arranged to hear the message you were promised.
I don't plan on being a sacrificial lamb for the 9. Our destiny isn't up to some unknowable architect. It's ours.
Scans are picking up a lot of moving radiolarity beneath the surface. Are they trying to assimilate Kepler?
We can't allow a Vex conversion to happen. Our own investigation aside, the Ionians call this place home.
We won't save them from the singularity just to lose them to the Vex. Crush the eye of the needle and the thread will choke.
The Vex here aren't a splinter faction. The conductor is leading them.
Oh, Sundaresh. Her motives smack of unfinished business and desperation.
If she's here in person, it can't be good. Last we saw her, we learned how cruel she can be, even to her loved ones.
You mean Chioma. I remember the two of them were lost in the Vex network. How is this what became of them?
Chioma was horrified by what Maya became, and Maya couldn't handle that. We know how she works. That gives us an edge. She's dangerous. Guardian, that machine looks like another time-lost invitation. Similar to the one that empowered you before.
If the Nine want to give you power, who are we to refuse?
Now that's something. I can see you now. When you're all spherical like that, it's almost like a star in the sky. We're connected through a chain of dark matter. It's everything.
If it's a chain linking to your enemies, use it to pull them apart.
A little violent, but the situation calls for it.
That Vex mind was controlling the flow of radial area. Without it, their assimilation of Kepler will stall.
I know Maya Sundaresh and her schism. This shield was echinacea, an anti-paracausal shell. It is a spark of the Nine, derived from their power. I recognize its shallow anxiety. Kepler harbors their influence.
You aren't suggesting they're helping each other? The Conductor and the Nine?
No. This place has always been touched by the Nine. The Vex exploit it somehow. I can put this together, Ikora. I promise.
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter. But that new shielding incorporated it.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications of that.
You've lived too long to carbonate in guess.
You got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more. Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep mantle drilling. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
So they're using 3 on the other side to strengthen their shield. We can't remove all the dark matter, but we can neutralize the threat long enough to push deeper into the canyons. I want this refinery in flames, Guardian.
Carrying a lot of energy, probably enough to shatter that complex pylon. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
You are here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up Elixni signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer. the last of the exiles. Now for the facts. Guardian, you're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to conflux pylons.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
The last converter. Refiner. Whatever. The Vex can't convert any more dark matter. Wait. Vex mine incoming!
The Overseer, who holds Hourglass Sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
Our weapons won't work.
You'll need the Nine's power to punch through.
Why would the Vex need a 9 for shielding? I've seen them in it for phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The fourth dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the 9 can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The 9 engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the 9, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am. Maya's Vex co-opting 9 energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the Vex net and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her wife, Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She will not find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
That's strange. Some of the radiolaria in the Vex down here is reading as being from, well, not our timeline. They're trying to wall off our path. We'll have to push through some familiar territory to reach the mind maintaining the dampening field.
If the Guardian dismantles it, we'll have enough Strangelet capsules to safely reach the Singularity.
And 3's on the other side with our message. One step closer to an answer. One last leap of faith. If Maya can already manipulate time, why all this friction?
Unlike the Nine, they're bound by their dimension. Chronal flow applies to all. Time moves forward, never backward. I want answers too, Ikora. We're simultaneous.
Looks like we're about to hit resistance. Get ready.
Resistance. You have reached an end, little ghost. Seeking to avert a catastrophe after the fact. Wear yourself dark from battle before it ever cuts deep enough to draw blood. But you will try.
It's an ambush, Guardian. Take cover. They're trying to lock us in. We don't have it. Let's look for a way to disable those barriers.
message was for me, Guardian, not you.
The Nine keeps stringing us along. Do they always get the future they determine?
Time is chord notation, the known possible scale of everything. But if the tone is set, why scheme against fate? Still, the Nine try, don't they?
Chords have variance to a degree. Tiny alterations in a range.
You're catching on. The Titan in me misses helping people. The city might do me some good.
I'm glad to hear you consider it. You could help us retake Seoul. Start small. Maybe Chicago. Ahead. They're trading fire with an exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs this time.
The Archon must be using us as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian, destroying that break deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they have seized off one of these things.
A door in waiting. A bridge across space.
No. There's remnants of Elixir technological signatures in the assimilated architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomaly before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. It makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready. But right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers.